Hello and welcome to the part 2 of my full in-depth wonder guide video. In the previous video we discussed the best wonders you could have to boost your military. Every one of them is really strong and good. Now that is not the case when you go for wonders of the great empires. Here what we did not talk about is, for example, Sherwood Forest. Let's start with the legendaries. Now this is the worst wonder ever introduced in this game. And there are many reasons for it, but the main reason is that it boosts the hit points of all your ranged units, which are archers. So basically what this does as the base, it gives your archers more health points. But ask yourself a simple question. Do your archers tank? Do they stand in front lines? Do they actually fight? No. Archers never need a health boost because they're never in the front lines, they're never actually fighting, so it's a waste of resources, 80 orbs and also resources to get this wonder to max level. And the funniest part that at the max level it only gives you 9.1%, which is useless because this is for archers as the base, and also you get this 9.5%. So archers 9% to that is really nothing. So it's completely useless. I really have questions why this wonder is considered legendary. I would put it in just rare because there is nothing about it. So what else it has? It's one of the three to be precise, nature wonders, and it's also a fortress. Now fortress is not synergizing with any military wonders, has no synergy because all the military uses statues, so you can't use this to boost your other troops through other wonders. And this one benefits from the fortress, so it needs fortresses to give your archers 2% extra health per active fortress. But why would you need health to the archers? This is completely ridiculous, and I'm never suggesting using it. This is the probably worst wonder in the game because it has almost no use. Now, yeah, it has a chest. We need to speak about it. It has a chest. And this chest, as you can see, depending on the era you are in, provides you with goods. Now, if I remember, in Sicilia, I will show you now in the game. So here we are back into the game. As you see, I did not unlock Sherwood Forest because you just can't use it. It's ridiculous, stupid, and unusable. But anyway, let's dive into the chest. Now, as you see, I'm in Sicilian area, and this is what you get. On the level 1 you get either one, no, most likely it's gonna be 1 research point at level 1, 2 flasks at 5%, which is almost impossible to get, and then most of the time you're gonna get this chest, which gives you 30 wardrobes, 30 peppers, and 30 books, which is completely useless. You can get 5 of those per day when you win a battle. But even if we multiply this by 5, it's 150 each, which is completely useless on its own. And now we return to the website where we can see that this scales with the level, of course, of this wonder. And let's look at the max level. So at max level we have 15% chance to get 3 research points. Now this is ridiculous. You would waste hundreds and thousands of research points into this wonder just to get 2 most of the time as a cashback, and the resources you will be getting from it are still the same. So this is, to be honest, the worst wonder ever introduced in this game. It looks beautiful though, but has no actual use in the gameplay. So don't waste your orbs, don't waste your time trying to get Sherwood Forest. It's a completely useless thing. Now, what we have here as well is the Great Wall, which I do have, but also don't recommend it, but it's optional. There are certain chances where you can actually use it. Now this is also a legendary, and this also gives you at max level after you spend thousands of research points 9.1%. So 9.1% health, but to all of your units. So this at least has more use because it's to all units, and now your infantry can benefit from it, cavalry, and everybody else you have on the battlefield. Also, this one produces you research points, and one extra for each fortress. Now, the last one is completely useless because it's a military wonder and you use statues to be successful in military. One research point per day, okay, maybe two if you get something like fortress. Okay, but this is completely useless on its own. Now, health boost of 9% is completely nothing. If you calculate, even we take, for example, let's look. Now, if we take, for example, let's take this, my infantry barracks, and we go to info, and it has a 9,160 health points. If we add to this at max level, for example, like a 10%, no 9%, okay, it's gonna be almost 10,000 hit points. Well, that's a difference, yes, but not a huge one, and your troops will still die the same way and will still die fast from enemy cannons and troops and everything. So this boost is not something you want to go for. I don't want to say that health wonders are useless, but I'm saying because we don't have a really good health boost wonder yet in this game. Now, Great Wall can be used if you are going after some specific boost here. For example, if you're a fan of the new wonders that came out, which are wonders from the stories and myth that just came out, and there we had a nice introduction of City of Carcassonne. Now, if you take Carcassonne, for example, we will just drop in here so I can explain more about the wall. It boosts the critical hit chance of all your heavy infantry units, and by a huge amount. And now it has its own heavy infantry units, which are very, very decent, and it increases the production speed of your heavy infantry units. Now, this info here on this website is a bit outdated, because in Sicily you now have different troops. I think they're called Royal Guards. So it also boosts the time. Now, heavy infantry takes very long time to make. Okay, this is something good towards them, but still useless in the battle actually itself. So if you would go for Carcassonne, you would go for this crit boost, because crit boost, like Chichen Itza, is very, very powerful. Now, but you need to keep in mind that heavy infantry is very weak on its own. Now, they're dying very fast. They're not so many. They're like 4 pieces in one unit, and so you can summon 2 of them. Okay, that's 8, but still, their main purpose in this game is to block enemy cavalry from reaching your back lines where the archers and your siege are. So basically, this impact, when the cavalry hits them, in that impact, at least half of them usually die. And so, what this does is actually boost their damage. So basically, if you level up Carcassonne high enough, they would be able sometimes to one-shot that cavalry. Not that more of them would survive, but they would not keep fighting after it. They would just finish it and move on with whatever they're doing. So in order to boost your heavy infantry, if you want to go for it, you would need something like Great Wall, because they would need more health. And then just a little bit of that might help to survive more, and they would be more helpful in the battle. But still, would not recommend it going for them, because what you really need in this game are the archers. Archers are the real backbone, and archers do the most damage, and archers almost never die. So your frontline units, they are gonna go dying anyway. So what you want to do is to boost archers so high that they can just swipe all the battlefield and win battles for you while they are covered by other troops. Now, what we also have here is the Terracotta Army. Terracotta Army is, you might think that it's a decent, but it's not. So what it does, it gives the hit points of all heavy infantry units by a certain amount with a base 2.5. Now this is completely useless. And it's better to use the Great Wall then, if you want to boost the heavy infantry, because it will also boost everybody else you have in your army at a certain moment. Which is nice, because when wall, you pick up wall is 9% at max level, but it's for everybody at least. So this is just for the heavy infantry. Okay, this one is rare and you can get it like fast, you can get it easy. The only thing why I leveled this up is because it has 10 slots available very fast, and I like to do 5 times per 10 research point per day exchange, so I get as much gears as possible from the exchange. Now, what's next? This one has a mystery chest who has the mercenary commander in it. Now, there is not 100% chance that you will get this mercenary commander every day, but if you do, it's not the best. Not like Menace in the Sphinx. Menace is far more powerful, but still very usable, very decent commander, mercenary Emperor Quinn. He's actually very nice and can help you win in many situations. He summons heavy infantry troops which benefit from your damage boost like Abu Simbel, health boost like this Terracotta Army. So basically they are quite decent and they do nice damage, and you can actually use them just for that. Mercenary commanders at all are very powerful, and most of the time more powerful than your own. Now, it also can boost the hit points of all of your heavy infantry units by 2% extra per every other active fortress. Now, as I was saying, you never use fortress wonders to win battles, to push your damage and everything, so this is not really useful. Even that 2%, even if you get 1 or 2 fortresses, it's 4. It's not so good at even at max level. So basically, if you wanna grow a health wonder, grow a Great Wall, because it's the only one that makes sense, at least because it gives the boost to every unit in your army. Now, this is a fortress and statue. Now this is the only probably big plus here, and of course the commander. Now let's get back to the stats. So you will get this commander with high chances towards the end. So, but it's not useful to spend thousands of resources leveling Terracotta Army just to get a commander. When you will be able to reach level 30 on wonders, you will not need that commander. So this is kinda optional if you want it or not. Basically, Terracotta is good when you have nothing else to put to boost your military in the wonders of the Great Empires. And it will be counted as the statue, so it will boost your Sphinx, it will boost your Artemis, it will give you boost to your good military wonders, so it's still usable just for that. Now, what we have here as well is Colosseum. Colosseum is an interesting type of wonder. It gives us the damage to all of our heavy units with a base of 5 as usual, and ending up with 18.3 like all the other military wonders. Now, damage in this game is better than health, so gives damage to heavy infantry, okay. If you get it to a decent level, okay. So you might make your heavy infantry high, and if you really want to boost them, if you use Carcassonne like we were talking about before, then with the help of Carcassonne, you can actually make them do quite a decent damage. So this is useful, but because it's also boosts the damage of all you have infantry units by 4% or active statues, so it synergizes with the other. The main minus is that it's in arena and the fortress, so this is actually like not usable, but arena will give you boost to your Chichen Itza, which will get a crit chance even higher for your archers. So Colosseum has some actual uses, and it also gives you worker. Sadly, it's not a statue, but for obvious reasons, we all know that Colosseum is arena. So you can use it in certain situations depending what you're after. I would still recommend going after archers, but if you want to make a change, a breath of fresh air, Colosseum is a decent one to go for. So here you can see that you get your workers, and also the damage and the how much you need resources to spend. Now, but Colosseum will only be like really decent if you are actually after heavy guys. All the other, I would suggest once again going to archers first and boost them as much as possible. So yeah, and next one that we'll be talking about will be Palace of Archon. Now this one boosts the hit points of all your infantry units. This is not usable for its base, because you have 2.5% at level 1, and while you spend a half a year to level it up to level 30, it's gonna give you 9%, which is completely useless amount, and then we get extra unit. The main plus of this is that it gives you special infantry units called the Imperial Guard. Now, the wonder itself will decrease the time of production for them over the leveling up, and also you will boost the hit points of all your infantry units by every active fortress, which is with military wonders not usable. Like imagine if you would want to go for health wonders, you will have to use all of the fortresses, which are these wonders, and then you will end up in the battle where your troops have a lot of health, but they can't normally kill anyone. Okay, survivability maybe will be better, but not against cannons, not against enemy archers, and not against battles on level 3 of Alliance Treasure Hunt. So health wonders are basically a waste of resources and time most of the time, but Archon has these Imperial Guard units. Now they are really decent and they can help you win many battles. So depending on what you want, if you don't have any other wonders, you early game, you got the Archon, you use the Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard is amazing and it will help you win tons of battles on its own. So they are not like extreme powerful, but they are quite stronger than your ordinary infantry. That makes them very decent. So now let's talk about the other wonder, which is Sail Palace, which is on the place 2 after Sherwood Forest, for being one of the worst wonders, but it has a one and only amazing benefit, and we'll talk about it. Now this gives us boost the hit points of all your Bastion units, and many players are asking what is the Bastion unit. The Bastion unit is basically, if you have a commander named Alexander the Great, he will summon walls which distract enemy cannons, enemy archers and everything when you place it behind them. Basically Bastion units are Alexander walls and the walls of this commander, this mercenary king Packle, which is produced by this wonder itself. So to boost the Bastion units, this is kinda useless, because you would need this only on battle 55, only once each week in Alliance Treasure Hunt, because there is the boss which shoots you with the cannon. He has a cannon on his shoulder, and that boss will do insane amount of damage. Now, many people use Alexander or this mercenary king Packle against him, because they both summon walls, and if you boost this wonder, these walls will stay longer, therefore the boss will be distracted for longer and your troops will survive longer, which is nice. But overall it's a completely useless thing because we have no other Bastion units in the game. Maybe in the future when they will introduce something more to this Bastion unit type, or maybe we will be crafting our own Bastion units in the city, then maybe this would be a better use. Because now, just to boost 2 commanders summoned walls, create a whole wonder for it, seems like a bit a ridiculous idea. So I believe developers have some certain plan onto this, because now it looks completely useless. But what it has a chest which produces this King Packle. King Packle doesn't come 100% each day, but the difference between Alexander and him is that Mayan walls actually shoot, not only stand but shoot, and his walls have a bigger amount of health, therefore they stay a lot longer, and this is highly useful. So I used to have King Packle. I used to try this wonder for a few days just to get the mercenary, just to check it out. And it's quite amazing because he puts on walls, yes, they're highly survivable, they have high survivability, and also they shoot and do not much but quite a decent damage. So this commander is very interesting and very useful, but still, if you go in Alliance Treasure Hunt, you will only use these walls in the Battle 55 of Alliance Treasure Hunt, so against that boss. Basically, I never use them anymore anywhere, and I still make 60 battles every week. Now also, it benefits from Fortress and gives 2% extra as usual for the health wonders for every active fortress. But to boost the walls, this doesn't make any sense at the moment. Now the chance for Commander of course will raise, but until you reach level 30 of Wonder, you will not need a Commander. So this is kinda strange to have at all. So here we covered all the military wonders now. Now we can return to the game and we will check them out. So, quick overview, where to see. Now, wonders of the ancient world. Here you have Zeus, Artemis, and Sphinx and Abu. And by the way, yes, I still did not unlock Abu on my main account, because getting orbs is quite a time, and I want Colossus of Rhodes first, because I still do 60 battles every time. Rhodes will allow me to faster accumulate gears. Now what we have else is Colosseum, Palace of Archon here in the Wonders of the Great Empires, the Sherwood Forest, Terracotta Army, Great Wall, Sail Palace, Chichen Itza. And here at the very end we have Wonders of the Stories and Mist, where is the city of Carcassonne. Now, thank you for watching. I hope you like the content. If you get any questions, you want a more in-depth calculation, or just questions about something of this game, feel free to ask me. And I'll see you in the next part, where we'll discuss the production wonders